Hello there everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. We are here at the Kerbal Space Center getting ready to fly Triplanetary Express. And I've made a few tweaks off camera. If I sound maybe just a little bit unfocused today, it's been a really busy week. And I didn't get quite enough sleep last night, but the show must go on. And it might result in hilarious errors, so, let's see. So we added, I took off one of the stages and one of the RCS tanks, added a new reaction wheel. And cut it down to the 40-ton launcher from the 50, so we've reduced the cost of this mission quite a bit. So let's see, now were these parachutes properly pre-programmed? Because we want to program them for, yes they are. Okay, 0.15, that's... And we're coming from further than Minus. Let's go maybe just a little higher. Because if we're going to be doing a free fall reentry, yeah, we'll go with 0.2. It's a little lower than I would like for the final deployment, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, that's off, that's off. Alright, that should do it. Let's check our staging, because it's wrong. Alright, so engines, stage 1 engines, stage 1, not stage 1. Stage... Oh, right, stage 1, part 2. Oh, right, this hasn't even reconfigured with the decouplers for those. Well, let's do that quick tweak here. Let's see. Do a little snapping. No, we need 4x symmetry. Because that's how it's already symmetried. Put that there. You know what? Let's just change this a little. I just have a feeling. Oops. We're going to just do this a little differently here. If we want something that's going to give us a nice long boost. Oop. Come on, get back on there. Get you on the ship. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust it this way. We'll put a fin there. And a fin there. And then we're going to put one of the large new boosters, the BAC, right here. There we are. So we're going to use that instead of the smaller boosters to get us off the ground a little. It might be a little excessive, but you know what? That's okay. Just keep it from wobbling. There. Okay, that should do it. Now let's just make sure it's staged right. It's not. Need that to stage. These need to start with the launch. And they need to have independent staging because they're probably going to run out before the liquid fuel engines do. Good. Yeah, staging here. And then... Okay, the next stage is not that. We also need the chutes to be separate. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Engines, decoupler, engines, decoupler, and the decoupler that's supposed to be far, far later in the mission. And it's probably all going to need to go with the parachutes anyway, so they might as well go simultaneously so that they're pre-deployed. That's slightly less disastrous looking. Okay, let's do this thing. So the goal for today's episode is to get this thing into orbit. Ooh. And get the surface scan from Kerbal. And from there we will maybe plan, if time permits, we'll plan our burn to the moon. But we probably won't execute it till next episode, because I have a very limited window to record here right now. Unfortunately lost a lot of time this week, and there's not much I can do about it. And 3, 2, 1. Lift off. Triplanetary Express is away. It does have the 2 inline reaction wheels, so I might not have to turn on the RCS to keep it stable with this design, which would be nice. I'm just going to follow the prograde marker a little here, and we will cut right. I think it has to be done at the low orbit. So we'll cut somewhere in the 75 to 80 kilometer range, because we don't want to be in a position where we're going to hit the satellites. That window is getting very crowded. Yeah, we'll push for 80. 80 is a good number. We're going to keep tilting. Alright, good. We're past 70 and we're rising fast. Okay. Let's rotate. I might not even need that much RCS on this thing with the way this is working. I'll need it for quick maneuvers, but and for more powerful stops, because of course we're dealing with reaction wheels, which are always a little inherently over enthusiastic. Would that be a good word? Yeah, I think it would be. Okay, so we're going to burn at T minus 30 seconds. Oh, we can start it now, can we? Surface imaging. Now the question is, should we start it now, or should we get ourselves the rest of the way into orbit so we actually have some sun? You know what? There's no time like the present, I think, to start my surface scan. This is going to get into orbit. So we should be good to go. So here we go. Really? I thought it took time to... I thought it took a one hour to do the scan. I mean, that's interesting. Alright, let's get ourselves the rest of the way into orbit. And let's just start transmitting that. It's weird. I could have sworn it took... And now it's gotten me, and now I've missed my window. Good news is that we are right on top of the apoapsis, which means our burn is actually very efficient. So I'm not worried about it, but that's weird. I could have sworn it took an in-game hour to collect that data. Maybe that was changed. Oh, crap. Shoot. Alright, stop it. Let's see. That did not go exactly according to plan. Alright. Let's just burn that periapsis up a little bit more. Come on, periapsis, rise just a little bit more. It can be eccentric. There we are. That's in orbit. Okay, well that went okay. I guess, yeah. Well, since we're already transmitting, we might as well start planning our lunar burn. I was not expecting that to be quite as challenging as it wound up being. We'll be able to use RCS to deorbit that thing eventually. Let's see. A little bit closer to... There it is. Moonrise. Let's see. Are we arriving too soon or too late? We kind of want to do a relatively low energy burn. This one's going to be all about burn efficiency, so we don't care about getting too close, but close enough that we're not going to be fussing around trying to but you know, if this thing's gonna if things have been changed to allow us to do the science on a close, well, no, but minmus, we need to be timing our minmus burn, so 26. Maybe we'll do the, let's not try and get too close to the moon. Let's do maybe if we do it by timing. There we are. Yeah, if we can do it, if we can time it properly, we should be able to get a lot closer because of the nature of leave sooner, because of the nature of orbits. We just want to drift ourselves into no, we're not getting any closer to the moon now. Okay. Alright, so if we leave 10 ticks later, that gets us closer. We leave 1 tick later than this. I think we're pretty much at the best we're going to get. Come on, you can do it. We're trying to turn this into a high efficiency transfer. And by doing this later and later, I think we've just hit the point of diminishing returns on it. Although maybe not. Getting closer just by adjusting the time we leave. There we are. All right. 180 science added. Yeah, it looks like getting a nice close pass at the moon is not going to be too hard here. All right, 84. 103, so we're getting further away now. I don't know why it just went weird. Why that... There's something about the math that's going on there that got really weird there. Alright, let's just change our departure time again. Alright, we're actually in what's called the free return right now, aren't we? There. Okay, that'll do. We've got 2-minute 38-second burn estimate. RCS tank is online. Okay. So to the moon already. We've transmitted the data. I'm surprised, but not complaining. And when we're ready to start the burn, we should be able to get some sun for this thing. Get it fully recharged, because it does take 5,000 of the 8,000 energy power available on this ship to RCS off. Hopefully the hopefully the reaction wheels will be able to keep this thing stable. This has actually gone a lot faster than I expected. Okay, excellent. Here comes the sun and our burn mark, which is going to be 1 minute and 20 seconds. To the moon. You need a little maneuverability here, so that's where the RCS is going to come in. Okay, and we go zoom. Perfect. Alright, between the Poodle and the solar panels, we should be charging things up quite nicely. We do need to monitor that. No contracts associated with this ship. This is purely a science mission. 100,000 for hopefully 2 science nodes. If we're lucky, even 3. But we shall see. Important thing is we are on our way. The moon is our target, and all will be well with the world. Hopefully we will have enough time to get the sun we need to power this ship and send another data transfer. The good news is that transfer time is less important now. So, alright, half a tank of energy. 1 minute 22 seconds left in the burn. I just hope we're doing okay on fuel levels here. It's going to have to be a really efficient home-in transfer here. Minmus is in the coming on its downward swing right now. Yeah, it is. It's going to be coming downward, so we're actually going to be at a point where we're going to be able to get a good, solid interception with it, if we leave at the right time, without having to adjust our plane of our orbit. Now, granted, our orbit's actually going to be a little inclined at the moon, so maybe, but it's inclined the wrong way, which is a problem. So I think we're going to have to fix that. Just do a quick tweak to our orbital plane when we get to the moon, or when we get out of... actually, probably the most efficient time to do it is while we're on our way out, so we'll just set this as the target. So we can figure out where the descending node is. It's like literally right here. Okay. There's not much we can do for that right here. Hopefully we can tweak it in the next couple of minutes. We just need to do a slight... Alright, here comes our encounter. Now, if I wanted to save fuel, this would be the place to start, and I can just adjust it into a very... You know what? Let's do that. That's a slower arrival, and we're going to have to do the orbital maneuvers on the way in. But all we have to do is keep ourselves within the target range for about an hour. Add maneuver node. We want to decrease... We want to flatten our orbit a little. No, flatten. There we are. That's it right there. And we're right on top of it. It's a 3-second little pulse of energy just to flatten our orbit, which will make getting to Minmus a little easier. Here we go. Just burning out that little bit of planar adjustment. This will make everything much, much easier. It doesn't even have to be perfect, it just has to be close. Alright, there we are. Nice flat plane. Let's RCS off and let's reorient to face the sun. Because we need our batteries to be charging. Whoops. Let's just let it drift. We may have hit the wrong button a little there, so... Let's see how much battery power do we have left here. Just keep turning. We've got tons of RCS left. I mean, we've only used 80. Just about 1/8 of the tank has been used already. Yeah. So maybe not. Maybe burning into a low orbit isn't the best way to do this mission. Okay. To make sure this thing is all sunny, and that'll be a wrap for today's episode. So in the next one. In the next episode, we are going to go and get a scan at the moon and do a burn to Minmus. And that's going to be interesting. So, hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.